something else from JR's podcast. He named the top 4 worst wrestlers he ever worked with or ever thought that he got into the ring with. I asked you to come up with your own list. Did you come up with a list?
Well, after I read Jim's, I got to agree with him,
Okay.
especially on one. Brockus. I swear to God, he was. I should have had a 2x4 in the ring. That was the stiffest bastard, not Bastage, the stiffest bastard I've ever been in the ring with. I mean, he locked up. He was like granite. You lock up, and he's like this, and you can tell it's. And I'm seeing lighten up, relax. And then he was a bodybuilder, which meant he didn't go for conditioning. He just went for the big muscles. And in 5 minutes, he blew up and blew up. What I mean by that, he was sucking wind and he was out of steam. But then he got more dangerous because then he was hitting me. I've been in easier street fights than with that guy. Finally, I said, screw it, man, pin me. I down. So he pinned me, and I swear to God, after he pinned me, I got up and walked out, and he was laying on a mat like that. I thought he was going to have a heart attack. I swear to God, I forgot where we were. I'll tell you where it was. This is what I hated about WWE or WWF back in the day. They would take some of their green ass guys, and instead of forming something like they have in Orlando, a training school, they would just give them to Memphis to teach them how to work. Guess who didn't get any money?
You.
The guys training them, right? And I said, and I told them one day, I said, guys, I'm not doing this. I'm not working with those assholes. They're going to hurt me. They're going to do something. And Vince could have paid something. I'm sure he was paying Jerry Jarrett. And I asked somebody, I said, are these guys getting paid from here? And they said, oh, yeah. I said, bullshit. I think Vince is paying them too. So they're getting a double check.
Yeah, well, when I was researching the Rock book that I wrote, great book as well, by the way, I believe that the Rock was getting something like, it wasn't getting much, but like $300 or something like that a week. And then you add that to the $40 a night he was making in Memphis. So he was probably making, what's that, $700 and something dollars a week, which, to be honest, was one of the better paydays in USWA in '96, I imagine.
Well, if he was making $700, yeah, he was making more than anybody else.
Yeah.
Really. I've got a few checks there, and I said, screw this. I just walk out. I wouldn't even give a notice. Then they'd say, Jerry would call me, and I said, brother, can't do it. I just can't do it. And he knew that. He knew the amounts he was writing that check. But he wasn't making any money either. I wasn't mad at him or anything, but damn. He just didn't, a lot of times. And then why do you think Lawler went to WWE?
Did you want to get paid? Oh, you want to get paid from his own promotion?
No shit. He owned, I think, half of Memphis. So when you get half of Memphis and you still not making any money, so, and he took off for greener pastures up there.
Oh, just one more thing on Brockus, right? You'll find this funny. Do you remember that boxing thing, that Brawl for All that Bradshaw was in? And someone,
yes.
They put Brockus in there.
Well, he didn't last long, did he?
Oh, God, no, he lost in the first round. He was awful.
Yeah, because he's terrible.
Yeah.
He wasn't, well, first of all, he wasn't an athlete. He was a bodybuilder. Bodybuilders do not make it in wrestling because they just run out of steam. They train for muscles and cut. They don't train for, cardio. They don't do that. Hell, I was in better shape than he was, and I hadn't worked out in 2 years by the time that I worked with him. I thought he was going to hurt me. If he'd have hurt me, I swear to God, I'd have went back to the dressing room and I'd have found me a 2x4. And I'd have went on and I said, oh yeah, you forgot this. Boom. Not on his head, but because he was too blown up to fight me. And I don't think Brockus, I think he was, where was he from?
Germany, I think.
Via Florida, I think.
Yeah,
And
Achim
yeah,
Albrecht was his real name. Savio Vega beat him in the Brawl for All as well, by the way.
Great. Who else did Jim Ross name?
The other three that he named were, and we've talked about three of them before, including Brackus. Ludwig Borger is the one that we've not talked about. I know you've heard a couple of things about him, but I know you never wrestled him because I've brought it up before. Tiger Ali Singh, who we've talked about at length. We've talked about him. And he, as Jim Ross said, with Tiger Ali Singh especially, quote, didn't catch on, and we spent a lot of money on trying to get Tiger over, and that didn't work. They really did as well with Tiger. I mean, they basically made him the million rupee man. And like they lifted stuff from Ted DiBiase to
see, I couldn't get out from under the WWE influence. When I went to Puerto Rico, they sent the son of a bitch there. I said, damn, nice guy, but you couldn't draw a deep breath with him. He couldn't draw you a tub of water. So, and I remember, and I ended up getting sued. I've told you this, ended up getting sued because of Tiger Ali Singh slipping on a wet mat in Puerto Rico because it was raining. And he fell down. Oh, my back. And I told him, I said, get the F out of here. You're not hurt. I said, hell. I said, if anybody's going to get hurt out there, it's going to be me just walking to the ring. But anyway, Tiger Ali Singh, I've never seen an Indian gimmick get over in the States. I've never seen it. I don't get it. I really don't.
Well, they keep trying it because there's a big Indian contingent of fans. I'm not sure how many Indian fans they'll have afterwards because I don't think Netflix is that big in India, but I might be wrong there. But anyway, the last name that Jim Ross mentions is El Gigante, Giant Gonzalez.
Well, I know I didn't work with him, but he is, you could just look at him. You don't, listen, if you've been in this business a few years, and you can tell a guy the way he walks to the ring after a while. You can just tell by the way he walks to the ring if he's any good or not. And he hadn't even done a move. He hadn't even circled his opponent. And you can say he's the shits. He's the shits. And I mean, I'm not saying that they're not trying. They're just not good. They haven't had the time to adjust. And the way guys lock up, and there's the little things you look at that you just notice that, and I think regular fans, they notice it. Long-term time fans, they can pick it up too, because they've studied that many wrestlers or that much talent that they can tell if a guy has anything and knows what he's doing.
Were there any other names you wanted to bring up? We could even narrow it down. Like WWF contracted people that they sent to USWA or IWA, somewhere that you had to work with, like a Brackus. Are there any other names that stick out?
There were a few, but I can't remember their names now.
Did you ever have a guy called Glenn Colter?
Is that his name he worked under?
Yeah.
I don't remember him.
No, he did work Memphis, but this was in 1999, so I think it was like it's just like Randy Hale's Power Pro Wrestling thing.
Yeah. From WWE?
Yeah, well, he was contracted for WWE for a few years, it seems. They were always trying to build him up, and then they just cut the losses, really, I think, with him.
Okay, The Rock said when he was in Memphis, he got $300 from WWE.
Yeah, something like this. Yeah.
And then whatever else he made.
Yeah.
Now, just remember, nobody else was making any money either. So you can imagine the other guys minus the 300 that Rock was getting.